Hey everybody, it's been a little bit. I finally remembered the password to my YouTube channel. It's been a couple months since I've been here. My bad. I think it's been over 6 months since the last time I've posted a video on the Richard Ashby music channel, and I'm not gonna lie to you, it wasn't on purpose, but it might have been needed, and I turned the camera on just so I can explain myself and we can talk a little bit about what's going on later. The last video I posted, I know for a fact, was at the end of July because I posted it while I was at an anime convention, and I just never made another video after that. And I don't really know why. It kind of just slipped my mind. 2025 was the busiest year I've had in a long time in terms of my personal life because, with school and work and all of that stuff, YouTube just kind of fell by the wayside. And I just ended up not making another video. And now with that time away, I actually had a little bit of time to reflect kind of on what I wanted and where I wanted to be and what I was doing and all of that kind of stuff. And it led me to some pretty interesting places. I should point out, if you see me looking down, it's because I'm reading off a bulleted list that I made, so pardon me. The biggest thing that I discovered was that I missed making videos. And I think that's a good thing because for as long as I could remember, I have always wanted to be a musician. And later on, I've wanted to be a YouTuber. Like, I've loved cameras and I've loved music. And the way to mash that together, and the only way that made sense to me, was YouTube. And that's why I started this channel to begin with. As time went on and I got busier and busier, YouTube just kind of became less and less of a forefront in my life. Even though I was still doing it, it wasn't really the only thing on my mind. That was especially true in 2025 when I was busier than I've ever been. I just didn't have the time to dedicate to YouTube like that. And that ended up with me taking what was essentially a 6-month break. I realized about 2 months in that I hadn't posted in about 2 months, and I made the decision to just, you know what? Why don't we make this a formal break? And I'll just do my work, do my school, and I'll just kind of leave YouTube alone for the first time, basically ever. And what that gave me the ability to do was just think about what I actually wanted and what I was doing and where I wanted to be. The conclusion I came out with was that 2025, I just felt like I was going through the motions, and honestly my whole life, but especially with YouTube, where I was making videos just to make videos and not necessarily because I wanted to and I was excited about the products I was creating. And that is counterintuitive to the actual idea that I started YouTube for. So because of that, I decided just to take an extended break. Like, it had already been about 3 or 4 months when I came to that conclusion. I was like, let's just finish the year. Let's just finish out the year. I've already not been posting. I'm probably losing subscribers. Let's just take the break. So that's exactly what I did. Throughout that time, I actually ended up going on a 2-week vacation on a cruise all over the Caribbean, and I got to see wonderful, beautiful things, especially the music of each respective country that I went to. And it reminded me of why I wanted to be a musician to begin with. Music is a thing that brings people together. It makes people happy. It makes people feel things. And I loved that, and I wanted to be a part of that so bad. And I think what I was missing was my why. And going on this trip, it gave me a little bit of that why back, as well as I spent a lot of last year going to a lot of concerts, actually. I think last year I went to see Kenny G, I went to see Espa, I went to see El Alfa. I think the most impactful concert that I saw last year was Leve. That Leve concert was actually life-changing to me. Seeing somebody who was about my age, me and her are, I think we're like a year or two apart, it's nothing too crazy, build this thing, this giant world that people buy into and people love and people relate to. That's something that I've always wanted. And seeing someone who's my age execute it that well, that sparked something in me. And it made me realize that I wanted that too. I wanted to do that. I wanted to do for Leve what I wanted to do what Leve did to me to other people. I think that makes sense. So now that it's the new year, I feel so much better and I'm so ready to create so many cool things. One of my resolutions, if you want to call it that, maybe goal is a better word, is just to create more and to create truly to myself. I've already been thinking up a couple ideas that I want to execute for this channel, also my second channel, Richard Ashby Vlogs. I just want to make cool things this year. That is my ultimate goal, is to make cool things that people resonate with. And the partnered goal with that is to take YouTube as seriously as I should have years ago. I've said this multiple times. I've always wanted YouTube to be my career. I wanted to be a content creator professionally for years now, years and years and years. But the thing is that I always told myself, oh, I'm going to go all in. And then I just never would. I would go all in for a couple months, couple weeks, maybe 4 months. And it just wouldn't pan out the way it should have. I wasn't committing the way I should have. And that's my own fault, and I recognize that. And this year, I want that to be different. I want to go all in. I want to treat this and give this a fighting chance to make some money and to be a viable income source for me. So I kind of wanted to hit a hard reset on Richard Ashby because it's kind of been the same thing since it started 11 years ago today. Richard Ashby started on January 13th, I believe my sophomore year of high school. And today, actually, as I'm recording this, is January 13th, 2026. So I think this has been 11 years of me posting on YouTube casually when it shouldn't have been. If for the goals that I wanted, it shouldn't have been casual. But I think it's time we stop being casual and we start being intentional. So Richard Ashby is going to be going through, like I said, a hard reset and a full rebrand, and that includes all of the Richard Ashby brands. Richard Ashby Music and Richard Ashby Vlogs are both going through a bit of a rebrand, and I think that's healthy because if there's going to be a new era of Richard Ashby, it deserves a new look. So in the next little bit, profile pictures will change, thumbnails will hopefully be better, banners will change all across the social media. And I'm very excited. And I think I feel something's cooking, something's brewing, and I think there's going to be something really good coming out of this here soon. Okay, I think that's all I have for you. I'm going to keep this brief and keep this short. I wanted to make this video because I saw people like Elbat and Mary Spender both make videos talking about their newness of their brands and their goals for the new year, and I felt like I had some things to say too. If you want to join the journey, you can like, follow, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. If you want to see into my day-to-day life, you can follow my second channel, which is Richard Ashby Vlogs, which I have been filming every day of my life for the past year. We are currently in year 2. And we're going to be doing every day of this year too. All right. Well, I think that's it. So I'll just leave you with that. Thanks so much for watching. To a new year with lots of music. With lots of music and lots of cool videos.